come on in, come on in. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in.
Well, what a great way to welcome us in this morning. Thank you. And I want to say a welcome also to the people who are watching from home, YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you being here with us this morning. My name is Carrie. And got me thinking as I read that, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, and what legacies they've left. They have changed the lives of millions with their love and compassion and inspiration. But what about people like Miss Peggy? She was my 6th grade camp counselor who signed the autograph book of a very shy girl in a way that made her feel very important. That signature, even decades later. So be like Miss Peggy. You never know the impact you'll have. And now let's do our vision with me. Advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values: abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children by saying, Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. And the daily word. The word today is rise. I rise in consciousness to help create a world that works for all. Throughout time, there have been people who led lives that changed the world forever. Their words and deeds provide after they left this life. Their most powerful contribution, however, was their ability to inspire lives of service, commemorate their journeys and contributions, but to embark upon my own. I rise, grateful to contribute all I can to the growth and evolution of humankind. And from Ezra 10, verse 4, take action, for it is your duty, and we are with you. Be strong and do it.
Enjoy right here where we're at. Everything's gonna be alright. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. God just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. God just let it be. So you ride with me, see where this life goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. God just let it be. I just wanna live life with my heart and heart up times. Got some things in life that didn't treat me right. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. I know that's beautiful, and it's easy to see. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. So you ride with me, see. So ride with me, see where this life goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be.
You guys are the best. You're also just a teensy bit biased. Yeah, just a little. So this morning I have the pleasure of welcoming Reverend Aubree-Lynn here again today. She's been with us, supportive of us and supportive of having Aubree-Lynn come and speak with us as a gift to us. You can find them on the back table. It has the 5 basic unity principles on it. And
greetings. It's so great to be here. Am I on? I'm on. She's always on. That's my congregation. So, greetings from Unity Sheboygan, and yes, we do honor you and keep you in our hearts and in our prayers. You're in our Wednesday prayer circle, always for growth for Unity Appleton. So it is our pleasure. So, and it's great to be back here again. So you want to have some fun today? Yeah, good. So one of the things that I always have done in my ministry is in January, use it for back to basics. Like, what is the core of who and what we are, even when I was in religious science or now in Unity, but what is our basics? And it's really interesting to watch how Unity has moved in different directions since I've been in Unity. And when I first started with Unity, they were moving out of Mission Center. Do you remember that? Yeah, okay. So they were moving out of that and going to about the building on the consciousness, growing spiritually, and to integrate heart and head, intellect and compassion together. And then there was this shift towards the language of oneness. Basically, what that meant that the language of the old doesn't support the reflecting times. And that's true, but we still have to go back to core values, I always believe. So it's important to know that while things change, they must change, or you may knock out your kitchen and put a whole new kitchen in, right? But the foundation is still there under you, holding you and supporting you. And it's the same with all type of faiths, not just our faith. But so one of the key things then is metaphysics. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Does anybody know? This is an interactive, so I'm not going to do all this work today. I want you guys, does anybody know what metaphysics means? Okay.
Beyond the physical?
Absolutely, beyond the physical. Metaphysics, meta, beyond, physics, physical, beyond the five senses. See, this is going to be fun, right? I do this with in my church, we took the lecture, we put it down there about 6 months ago, and we decided that we would talk through service, not just me and you. So that's why for us, it's fun. So good job. So yeah, metaphysics beyond five senses. So in the broadest sense then, the study of metaphysics explores the area, what is the nature of God and who are we? And so to name a few then, metaphysical teaching is the study of life and the nature of the law governed and directed by thought. That's all. Simple, right? No big scary thing. Oh, you guys believe in metaphysics? Yeah, we do. Right? Beyond the physical. Okay, so here's an easy question. What year?
Long time ago.
1889, right, 1889. Who knows how they started it? Who Unity was started?
In their home with friends.
In their home with friends, but prior to that.
People wanted to know how Myrtle got healthy.
Right.
Absolutely, you guys are good, right? So Myrtle Fillmore grew up believing that she inherited her family's, and so she grew up believing that, and that she wanted to be in Kansas City, Missouri in 1886, and went to a lecture hall and heard this speaker who gave her a whole new idea about life. And she left that place with an idea that actually saved her life. And the idea was that she did not have to accept the diagnosis. She didn't, sometimes we get a diagnosis at the doctor and we call our family and friends and we go, oh my God. And let's look at it. And yes, I totally 100 doctors, but I 150% believe in spirit and God and healing. So that's what happened to them. That's how they start. So then they were so broke, and Charles wasn't well either. And so they found their way with God, and they were both obsessed with myth. differences between Charles and Myrtle? What do you think the differences are? Anyone know? So Myrtle was more the right thought that sooner or later you come to a place where your old life without the oneness of God just doesn't work. And that's how a lot of new thought of us, that's how we come here, because something just isn't working anymore. Sad, stuck in this place right here, and that's take that step out and you move into something new. And let me tell you, from reading the letters that she wrote, I was going to bring some with me and I forgot them, and I'm so sorry. But reading the letters that she wrote to the different people that wrote into her, into Unity, I mean, she was strong. She sometimes had a sense of humor back and forth between these people, and it was like, whoa, okay. So every day, Myrtle Fillmore wrote notes and letters to people up until our God-given abilities. We have to use them. We have to use them. We have them, but do we use them? Most of the time, part of the time. So she reminds us strongly that we're a child of God. Myrtle Fillmore always with that. Charles, on the other hand, was this innovative thinker, where Myrtle was the writer and the motherer. Charles was this innovative thinker, creating sound metaphysical understandings of the teachings of Jesus. And metaphysical, physical, and the aspect of practical Christianity, which is what we are. So he had this open, inquiring mind, and he would deep into scientific studies as well, and his writings are timeless. In fact, they just announced that they've rewritten The Essential Charles, and it's a new book, and it's, I don't like the word cleaned up, but for lack of a better word, they've cleaned it up and made it a little bit easier to understand. So, of course, on power. Go within. You know, sometimes how we say, you know, God in heaven help me, because the kingdom of heaven is where? Within, right, absolutely. And who knows his favorite saying? Who knows the saying that he's famous for?
I'd like to say when he was older, he said, you fairly sizzled with zeal.
Yes, he did. He said that. And the other one is, I go to headquarters. I go to headquarters, and that mean that he would meditate. And when his kids would come in and they bring their friends in, there would be Charles sitting in the chair, and they go, like, what's that? What? Oh, that's just my grandfather going to headquarters. And meditation going to God. So if somebody says to you, what is unity? What is unity?
Spiritual community.
Spiritual community. What else? God bless you. Positive.
Yes.
Practical Christianity. New thought Christianity. It was really interesting. I was looking at the old Unity, by the way, has a brand new website. I don't know if any of you have seen it yet. Please do so. It is amazing. It's beautiful. It's a whole different look. It's not saying practical Christianity. We still are practical Christianity. It's trying to reach a broader view of people, which is good for all of us. But in the old website that I looked at 2 weeks ago, I was shocked to see that Unity, and it said practical, positive, new thought Christianity. And that I thought was a giant step for mankind, and I wish they would have left it in the new one. But think about that. Think of where religious science, Dr. Judy Powell always said, there isn't a new thought in mind. We just steal it from somebody else and we put our spin on it. So when we think of new thought, so here's what the new website says. Unity is a global, inclusive spiritual community. We offer practical, uplifting resources to help people of all faiths to apply positive spiritual practices for their lives. So they're giving something that says, wow, that might interest me. There's this much stuff. And then it says growth, and then there's articles, there's Gary Zukav speaking, there's all sorts of things. And then the other one is experience. And it tells all about Unity, Unity grounds, even how to get a job at Unity headquarters. So that's so really go pull that up and look at it. It's really interesting. So if somebody says to you, what is practical Christianity? What to answer? Right? Because we have Jesus in all areas of your life. So Jesus' teachings practically apply to everyday living. You know that thing where sometimes we go, oh, what would Jesus do? Right? Be a lot nicer than me. Yeah, right? Right? So spiritual living, I believe it's a religion, a spiritual philosophy, and a way of life. It's really a way of life. This is how we live. It's a way of life. So Unity believes that all people are created equal worth and free of discrimination and support diversity. So practical Christianity is taking the metaphysical teachings of life. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So then Unity has these basic tenets, and it's really in the first basic tenet of Unity. So what is the basic tenet of Unity? God is all there is. That's it. God is all there is, okay? And then the second, okay? We are spiritual beings, and we are the idea and the mind of God. God had to create something, had all of this stuff, but there was no man, woman, right? Created in God's image. So what is God's image? Yes, that's right. You know, I just went through the basic, oh my God, I love it when my mind goes that way. It'll come back to me. But in that book, you know, it goes, who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I, who am I? And it's like a whole chapter of going. And me, that's who I am. Me, this spiritual being, this beautiful child of God. You know, I'm not my sex, not my career. I am not, you know, I did this in high school. I did this, and this I'm not telling you about. That's in my closet. It's me. Who am I? Who are you? You're just you, okay? So, but in the image and likeness of God is the 7 attributes of the Christ harmony. Those are the qualities of God, and we're born with those. We in consciousness is love, light, joy, beauty, harmony, wisdom. And during our whole Christmas time, we had all of them up here on the podium, and each day somebody else would light them. I am light, I am joy, I am harmony, I am beauty. That we are. That's the image and likeness of God. Okay? It's not that guy in the sky. Because in my world, in my personal belief and in our religion, that's not what we believe. We believe the kingdom of heaven is within, heart and soul within. Absolutely. And then the third tenet of Unity teaching, Jesus was a special person in the history who expressed perfection, and therefore he. Like, no, right, because in that time they didn't have it. It was Jesus.
He was God's son.
Yeah, so Christ was not Jesus' last name. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But does that make sense to you? So it's not Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ. Were based on prayer. So to him, so Unity then teaches and believes in the divinity of Christ. So when people say to you, well, practical Christianity, do you believe in Jesus? Because we're this cult, which we're not. Okay, no. Unity believes in the divinity of Christ. that stops that whole negative conversation. And we're not saying it to stop the conversation, we're saying it why? Because it's the truth, right? Unity is in every person, right? Right. People ask me if I'm Christian. I always say I'm Christian and so much more. That stops that conversation, right? Unity teaches that repeated statements of truth, which is denial and death. But let's go to the 5 principles of unity. What's the first one? God is all right. And the second, I am one in God, not with God, because with God means separation. And what we teach in New Thought is heal the separation, heal your life. We are born these beautiful, beautiful, little, perfect, blessing babies. And then by the time that we're a teenager, between parents and religion and teachers and relatives and news, it's all distorted. And then so we go through this period of life getting our education. And what that is we need to heal the separation. That's when the soul is calling back to us that we need to come back to. There's a song from Bunny Hill, and it's actually a children's song, and no, I'm not going to sing it. I'll say it. Bring back to my remembrance the glory I had with thee before the world began. Before the world began. And that's that heal the separation, heal our life. So we are one in God. God is all there is, and we are one in God, not with God. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. First is God is all there is. I am God, you are God, where God lives in God in me, as me, is me. Say that. God in, and then the third principle is we co-create with God. So that's the law statement. We release it to the universe. And before we said the words, it's already being acted upon, right? And then it comes to fruition. Now, does it come to fruition the second that we say it? No, it doesn't. It depends. It depends on the embodiment and the belief and the passion that you have behind communing with God. We get the idea, we co-create, we commune with God, and we release and let go. So let's talk about that then in prayer. Okay, growth for Appleton. So I know right now that there is only one God, one power, one presence. Principle, right? One power, one presence. Right here and right now, I am in the embodiment of that spirit which surrounds each and every one within this sanctuary. God and I are one. God is all there is. One power, one God and I. This is what I know. Don't say, dear God, what should unity do now? Please guide us. This is what I know right here and right now as we move forward with bringing us to the right and perfect solution to all that is happening here. And as God is ready and we are ready, the right perfect minister will show up. I know this is the absolute truth. I release it and let it go. Thank you, God. But did you see? You're not firming. So it's either this is what I know, this is what I sorry. We can't get musicians. Don't ask me why. We've advertised, we talk about when God is ready. So we have this demand prayer going. We're here right now, soon it needs to happen. So does that make sense with prayer? Right? God is, I am, is what I know. Release it, I let it go. Thank you. How do you neutralize a prayer?
What do you mean by neutralize?
Make it null and void.
Lack of faith. Lack of faith.
Lack of faith, absolutely. So as I just said this whole prayer, someone out here is saying, well, I hope that happens. Just made the prayer null and void because your faith and your passion isn't behind it. See, people think they need all of it. You just have to speak your truth with passion, belief, embody it, walk it and talk it, right? and then it comes to breathe. So God is all there is. I am creators with God. We commune with God. We express God. We live in truth. And those are the 5 principles. And please pick up those cards when you leave. So, all right. So affirming prayer, according to Unity, is a prayer of empowering. It's more than submission. It's a statement of truth. So then where does denial come into it? It's really interesting growing up in religious science. Some ministers and teachers and some wouldn't. So my first 2 years of teaching were where they used it as a student. But let's talk about prosperity. So someone comes in and they're in that total lack and limitation, right? And they're relatively new to Unity, to new thought. So I know right here and now there can be no lack and limitation. That's the denial. Because it's very hard when you're dealing with newbies to say, right here and right now, all that is good is coming to you and flowing to you, blah, 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 blah. So I know right here and right now, there is no lack and limits that I wish to draw into my life. I know, and then you affirm that all that is needed is flowing to me right here and right now. So that's how you use denial. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just that's where it comes. I don't use it a lot, but I do use it when I'm dealing with new people because it's awful hard if somebody's crying and they just lost their whole. It makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So,
there's another way that I've heard it used, and that is to say that I know that this situation has no power over.
Absolutely, it has no power over me. It cannot change the way that my life goes forward. Absolutely, perfect. Anyone else? Good. You guys are good. Howie, you tell me when to stop talking. Myrtle wrote, this is our method of prayer, acknowledging the oneness with God, claiming the ability that gives and expecting to have these things needed and conducive to spiritual progress. And so they have these steps to prayer, and what they're about, I don't call them steps to prayer, I call them preparation. And it's the relaxation and the concentration, getting into the silence and meditation. So these 3 steps are just allowing you just to begin to, and then Thanksgiving. But I believe that you do the relaxation, the concentration, becoming still, and then go to God is all there is. I am one with God. This is what I know. Release and I let go. Thank you, God. Why do we thank God?
Because it's already done.
It's for our own good. Okay. What is God?
Love.
Absolutely. God is love. And what is love?
Energy.
God. God is love. God is love. God is a mind principle whose foundation is ideas. And that's from Charles Fillmore. So God is spirit then, never said energy, the creative energy that is the cause of all energy, that is the cause to all visible things. God is spirit. And what does it say in the Bible? We who worship must worship in spirit. God is love. So you can say God is absolute. You can say God is principle. You can say the truth is God is principle, law, spirit, all good. God is all. God is all. And Jesus, and then I think I can tell me to close. Jesus was a person. He was a man born in Bethlehem. Jesus' teaching, again, we spoke about this, the necessity of everyone to rise above their 5 senses or to come into the Christ consciousness. And the unity candle, no, okay. So that's why in a lot of churches on Sunday morning we light the Christ candle, because coming into the Christ candle, I light this candle. So Jesus, the I am in man. the way shower, right? The teacher, the master teacher. You know, the first time I walked into, it was a religious science church, and it was Dr. Richelieu, and funny man, funny man. But he said, when he spoke of Jesus, he had Jesus, the beautiful teacher. And I remember just being in such awe of that love that I just had. But then we understand Jesus was a man for 33 years, right? Then we have Jesus the Christ. And Jesus the Christ is the divine idea and is the idea in the absolute. It's the perfect idea of man. Jesus the Christ was the perfect idea of man. And Jesus Christ, the ascended Jesus, the perfect pattern or idea, the anointed one. So, you know, people say, well, is it Jesus? Is it Jesus Christ? Is it Christ Jesus? It's all. But does that make sense? The idea that is the absolute. And then Jesus Christ, the ascending Jesus, new, the Christ within. And sometimes we hear the expression in New Thought, putting on the Christ. Let's rise to that and put on the Christ. Are we good? Close? Okay, so I have so much more I wish to give you. I told Carrie someday I'd like to come back on a Saturday and do a whole New Thought thing from where it started all the way back with the philosophers and the transcendental and all of that. I would love to do that for you in the spring, just so we don't have to worry about snow. But thank you for allowing me to share this. Was this beneficial? Okay, well, thank you so very much. I love you guys. Oh, thank you.
I now invite you to begin to prepare yourself for reflective personal prayer and guided musical meditation, and after which it will last. You may close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body as it relaxes into the chair. Feel your feet on the solid earth beneath as you breathe in life and breathe out love. Breathe in life and breathe out love. And as you become centered, focus your attention and allow into yourself that which fills you with peace and light. And so we begin.
Now I gently remind you to return to this place.
Thank you for that beautiful meditation.
Mike.
Oh, I thought I did. It's not. There we go. Okay, thank you for that. That was beautiful. I have a couple of announcements that are not on the screen. One is an update from Marilyn. Marilyn is coming back home today. When I spoke with her yesterday, she said that she would appreciate visits, and she would also appreciate it. Get a hold of me, and I will give you her number, and you can make arrangements with her. So that's one. The other is that Jen Cruz's boyfriend passed away last week, and now we hold her in our hearts. On another note, we have a few other things here. Sunday services will continue to meet in person. The board met on Tuesday and made some recommendations that we would like people to follow. Masking, the K95 masks. We are going to be moving the chairs a little further apart and increase volunteers for that. And we're not going to be doing the coffee and the snacks for a while, just until this wave that is happening. We're doing it really as a way to help protect Sunday services. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. It's easy to do. You don't have to prepare any clicker. You just push this little button right here. And your calendars for a couple of spiritual growth opportunities. One of them is that Reverend Phil Schmedstead, who is a transition minister through Unity Worldwide, will be offering a series of workshops. The first one is then the following Sunday he will be doing our talk for the day through also via Zoom. And there will be more details coming up. Another spiritual growth opportunity is that Karen Sophie is going to be leading a book group called Happier Than God, and there's a sign-up sheet for that. And we have new members here today, and John and Bedford are going to be leading that.
Now, here we go. So we have metaphysical, because that was one of our topics yesterday, as the 4 new members know. We had a very, very nice session yesterday. So I'd like to call forward Laura Gaking and Steve and Karen. And Steve is Steve Torkelson, and right there. And yeah, you can face the group, please. Thank you. It's a very simple thing that we do here to welcome folks. And then we have a little something for each of them when we're finished. And we'll close with the next slide, will be the Unity Blessing, which we'll do, and some of you may be doing for the very first time. So, welcome to all of you.
And we really are overjoyed to have these new members join us. I'm going to ask all of them to agree to each of these 4 statements, but you can be thinking of that yourself and reaffirm it as well while we do this. So as a formal recognition of your saying, I agree. The first one, I understand and am aligned with the basic teachings of unity.
I agree.
Secondly, I will do my part to support a positive path for spiritual living.
I agree.
Joyfully and lovingly.
I agree.
And finally, together with my fellow members and congregants, I am co-creating with Spirit the ongoing dynamic life of Unity of Appleton. I recognize that together we help to keep its doors open and expand its programs and services. thereby blessing and serving thousands of others like ourselves. Through membership in Unity of Appleton, I honor the spirit in me. Thank you.
And so at this time, if we take the next slide, please.
And if we can move over a little bit so we can see the slide.
Oh, yeah, we probably need to step off to the side because otherwise people aren't gonna be able to see the blessing that we're gonna use right now. And if you don't, please stand. We can stand and do this and raise your hand toward them, and I'll start it, but you can read it on the screen. Hopefully, we're not in your way, and if we are. Bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we know that you are empowered to do great things. And so I'm welcoming each of you. We have something for each of you. So what each of them is getting is a little membership card and a little Unity pin. And so now we're officially welcoming them, and that's all. Oh, thank you.
And now we have our affirmation of prosperity. Please join with me. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of spirit, in the flow of divine abundance, and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And our celebration of giving and receiving. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about your shining light, it's very bright. I think about the soul you are, your love and light. So happy together. Nice to see you there, aware. So very fine, so happy together. When we share your love and the skies will be blue for all of time. Me and you in unity, no matter how we share our love, it's meant to be. The loving way is deep for you and you for me, so happy together. I can see you loving the soul that is you for all of time. When you share your love and the skies will be blue for all of time. Me and you in unity, no matter how we share our love, it's meant to be. The loving way is deep for you and you for me, so happy together. So happy together. So happy together. So happy.
And knowing that we are surrounded by the divinity, the love, the one presence, the one power, we are in such gratitude for the blessings and the love that comes through from this congregation. And we know that it goes forth to support, to bless, and to supply. And as we grow from in these walls out in our community, we know that we will prosper and support our community as well. So for this and for everything else, we just thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit.
Oh, we're jumping ahead. We gotta do our. We're so good.
We're so excited
We
about
jumped the
this
gun.
song.
we're so eager to do the last song, we forgot about this.
Let's stand up and do the purpose. Yes, please. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God holds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
See, as
Try
you're
that
standing,
again.
see, as you're standing, now you can dance too.
Everybody know?
Unity of apples. When we get together, it's the love in our hearts that sees beauty everywhere in everything. Oh, be, oh, but God, like love, yeah. Love is love. Oh, but be, oh, but God, like His love, yeah. La, 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 like His love. I am so thankful that we are right here. With the love we have, it's really true. If we all stay mindful and we practice grace, there is no limit to what each of us can do. Oh, that be, oh, that God, like His love, yeah. La, 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 like His love. Oh, that be, oh, that God, like love, yeah. La, 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 like His love. If you know that life is love, sing Aubree-Lynn. Thank you, everyone. We will have our optional discussion. Would you like to stay for that?
We are long distance travelers. I need to change batteries because our batteries are going.
So do we end up using training?
That's all right.
It's a really finicky camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to reach this guy.
Oh, I've got to get down to that this afternoon.